Kelly Exotis. Welcome back to my channel. I am a paranormal channel, so please subscribe. I am an empath, which means I can feel energy and I can pick up on energy. I'm also clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient, which means I can see and feel and hear the spirit world. So I want to cover something today that I actually have never talked about on my channel, which is like aliens and UFO and things like that. And it's not really the actual story, but it's related to that. And I just feel like this story that I'm about to tell you guys, it's so like relatable right now with what's going on with Area 51. So I want to talk about the Mothman with you guys. I grew up in Virginia, and we used to hear this story all the time because West Virginia was like next to us, right? I just watched this documentary, I think on Netflix, and first of all, it made me super, super sad. And I feel like I definitely tapped into the energy of the residual energy that's in this town. Like, it's just a lot of people died in this town. And the story is that November 15th, 1966, something crazy happened to this town. And then December 15th, 1967, their silver bridge collapsed. So a lot of people correlated and feel like this thing, this entity, this being, or whatever it was that they call the Mothman, was kind of like was there to kind of warn them of this catastrophe and this disaster that was about to happen. So a lot of people kind of feel that way about it, and also a lot of people feel like it was like a bad omen or whatever. So what happened was on November 15th, 1966, a group of kids in the car where they were driving, there was like a stretch of highway right outside of town, and they were just driving, and people used to drive really fast on this highway. And the reporting was that this group of kids saw something like as tall as like 7 feet, like he was a man, and he was like black and hairy and had these giant wings, like 6 feet in length and width, and had these giant huge red eyes like the size of a softball. So they were driving on the highway, and next thing they realized is there was this giant thing following them, and actually got to the, was following them on the roof and was just flying as fast as they were driving. And they were describing that it had these giant wings, and they were flapping up and down, and when it was coming down, it covered the entire car. It's totally giving me Jeepers Creepers vibes. Like, Jeepers Creepers, guys, was the most disturbing film I ever saw. Like, I remember where I was, what I was doing when I saw that movie. I was camping, and I saw it. I watched it in a tent, and it was freaking creepy. It was creepy and disturbing. So this totally gives me that vibe, like this giant thing with the wings and everything like that. So anyway, so these kids run to town. They go to the police department, to the sheriff, and they tell them what they saw. Now, soon after that, so the first sighting was November 15, 1966, November 15, 1966. So soon after that, people started experiencing and having the same things. And so all these reports were coming in to the police station that people are seeing this thing that they call the Mothman, and it was really scary, and it was giant and had giant red eyes. And it got so bad that people in town started talking about taking things in their own, taking matters in their own hands and just trying to go out there and hunt it and try to find it and to kill it. Now that's where the conspiracy comes in, because the National Guard came in because people were talking about showing up to, getting together with their rifles and shotguns and things like that, and going there and hunting it and killing it. Now, the reason I'm saying this is weird similarity about what's going on with Area 51 is that there was this abandoned factory right outside of this little town, which is called the TNT area. So the story is that right after World War II, the government just left everything in this factory. And it's called the TNT area, which is what is making me think about like Area 51, because the conspiracy started because people wanted to go find this thing and kind of kill it or hunt it. The National Guard came in and stopped everyone. They didn't want people to go to this area. They made it completely, like, closed it down, barricaded it, and they didn't want people to like go after this thing. And then while this craziness was going on in this little town, and when I say little, it only has like what, 10 or 18,000 people living there. It's a small population, very small little town. A lot of people that live there are still living there, having families and so on. So while this crazy thing is happening to these people in this town, people also started having UFO sightings. They started seeing this crazy lights, vortex of lights in the sky, strange noises, and where a lot of things were like a stretch of houses would just like blow up, all the electricity would blow up, and people would come out and see this like lights and vortex like in the sky, things that look like, you know, planes or things like that, but they weren't planes, and they were just like zigzagging all over the sky. And so people are seeing the Mothman, they're having UFO sightings. And then the third weird thing that started happening to this town was the men in black. Men that were dressed in black. They were wearing like black fedora hats, like dark black sunglasses, like Ray-Ban sunglasses, and they were driving like these black like Cadillacs, like very similar, look like the cars, like it was the same cars, and the people all looked like each other. These men dressed like each other, they acted the same, they were same height, they were kind of robotic, and they were showing up at people's residence or place of business and knocking on door and saying, why are you talking about the Mothman? Why are you talking about the UFOs? You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't go public about it. A lot of people wanted to like, you know, we're trying to motivate like the local newspaper to like write stories about what was happening to this little town. So it was crazy like what was happening to this town. It started with the Mothman, and then the UFO sightings, and then men in black started appearing in this little town. So while all this crazy stuff is happening, you know, a National Guard is coming in and trying to stop these people from investigating or trying to hunt this entity or thing or bird man or whatever it was called, Mothman. November 15th, 1966 was the sighting. December 15th, 1967, the Silver Bridge collapsed. A lot of people died. A lot of people died. It is a very, very sad, tragic catastrophe that's happened to the U.S. And it was a huge bridge that collapsed with a lot of people on it. And the story and the conspiracy, I guess, is that when people started seeing this Mothman, Birdman thing, they definitely felt like there was something that was trying to warn them, because this thing would fly around the Silver Bridge all the time, and it would appear to people and it would come to people, but people were frightened by it, of the way it looked. So they would either try to like shoot it or run away from it or drive away from it. So I definitely feel like it was definitely there as like, you know, trying to warn them of these natural disasters that were about to happen. And soon after the Silver Bridge collapsed, everything stopped. People stopped seeing the Mothman. There was no more UFO sightings. The men in black disappeared. So it's just a crazy coincidence as all the stuff that was happening to this little town. So now they have this kind of like a yearly festival that people come from all around the world and kind of celebrate, or, you know, buy things that are Mothman related. There's a museum in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, that's all about men in black, UFO sightings, aliens, you know, the Mothman. So it's just a huge attraction in this little town. and it makes me really sad for them because I feel like there's a lot of residual energy there. And I don't know if anyone has investigated Point Pleasant, West Virginia, the Silver Bridge collapse. If you have any more information about this, just put the information down below. And I just thought it was so weird with what's going on with Area 51 and this thing, the TNT area and Area 51. So I feel like there's some sort of an energetic, thing that's relating these stories together. So I just wanted to cover this for you guys on my channel today. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this story. Like I said, if you have any extra information on the topic, please leave it in the comment box down below. And thanks again, you guys, so much for subscribing to my channel and liking my videos. I really appreciate it. Until we see each other, be good and protect yourselves. Bye.